And so I turn to you and say, to live and not laugh is a life not worth living. Please come here and look at this. Is it a leaf or is it a lemon? It does not matter. Just come, stand and look. Watch these simple shapes that stream in front of you like perpetual rolls of coloured paper. Please reflect upon their beauty. Are they taking you anywhere? Do you not feel a rumbling pleasure in your belly at the sight of these walls? Once so white, do you not agree that they are improved? You see, I have never been one for boundaries, and yet I have always loved walls. I have painted all sorts in my time, from the smooth warm plaster of domestic interiors to the crumbling cement of frazzled wastelands. Ugly, you say. Well now, some people would regard the elephant's bottom as ugly, but how can you not marvel at the leathery creases of this majestic mammal's behind, or ponder with a small chuckle the myth of these beasts rolling around all giddy, drunk from the berries fermenting in their generous stomachs? You see, I take nature's giants and I paint them flat. Stiff as boards and basic they stand together, carrying on their backs the small weight of another artist's ideas shaped into form. Let us not forget, because I assure you the elephants have not, that we can all get too serious about the plinth. In my opinion, there really is no need to be. You ask me why I paint so slowly. I slap you in the face with a fish, a herring the size of a sausage. Why not paint slowly when it is but one petal of the flower that makes up my creativity? Sorry, that was silly. Now I promise to be serious. If I am honest, and I do want to be honest with you, you have the wrong segment of the clementine. You see, yes, I paint slowly, but I also paint fast, paint high and paint low. I like to spend time alone with inanimate objects. It is very therapeutic. But this is just one bite of my apple. I also like to be out there, fizzing like a synapse in the brain. I meet a lot of people. We shake hands and eat cake. We make some posters together. The immediacy of screen print excites me, and the power of our collective energy is palpable in the air. But this again is just one morsel of my banana. You mustn't forget sweet geranium. With these exhibitions and books, I am walking on a tightrope, meandering carefully through the practices of others, all the while talking and talking, giving and taking, sucking like a sponge on the one hand and resisting like oil on water in the other. Then, of course, as you will have predicted, because of all this activity, I must always return to my time alone. I must gather up my bits and bobs and retreat back in to rest like a little hermit crab. Yes, it is confusing, but this is how it is. Now, imagine a lake. It may be hard for you to capture this lake in your mind, but please try. Of course, this is very easy for me to do. I am Swiss, and as you will know, we are very close to nature. This lake is deep and cool. It is basically everything you ever wanted a lake to be. It is the kind of lake you get in fairy tales. In this lake there is a gentleman thief, a travelling salesman, and a court jester. They are floating about quite happily together. The gentleman is charming the ladies, who are sunning themselves on the bank. I can only wish to be that masterful with the fairer sex. The salesman has fashioned a pole from a branch, on which he has hung all his wares. You must admire his ability to never miss an opportunity. While the court jester is trying in vain to juggle with frog spawn. How he captures the imagination of his audience. The comedy in his failure is fantastic. In the middle of these men there is me. Unfortunately, I cannot swim, so I am thrashing about in a very ungainly manner. I am also making very loud noises. I am basically drowning, but that is where I am, somewhere between these three characters. But this is all beside the point. What I mean to say is that I will always paint teapots whilst others continue to make fragmented things that lean and lie. I will continue to grow my beard and paint stones to look like fruit, instead of walking around with a mouth full of ideas, regurgitated from a book that I have not understood. Please do not get the wrong impression. I am not proposing that we should not think. No, it would be a disaster if you were to stand there and consume my colours and shapes like an endless television commercial, gobbling up my repetitive tokens for dumb pleasure. I ask merely that you see that for all my jokes, I am committed to this. You can see that, can't you? It is important for me to know that you know this. Whilst my oil paint is drying, I take a needle, and I mark my flesh with ink. I see your American gang slogans, your Russian mafia symbols, and your declarations of love for your mother, and I raise you a small and squiggly vessel that holds a refreshing hot drink. I am branded with teapots. Their spouts curve up and their bottoms bulge. From these objects I drink and enjoy. What can be more important than this?